Hello everyone, this is Shivangi ma'am here. I'm here to teach Standard 4, Chapter 4, and the name of the chapter is the Western Desert. So previously I provided you question and answers, yes. So complete your work on time, and now let's get started with this chapter. Before watching this video, first please read the chapter thoroughly, and after that watch this video. So the first question is there. Tick what you find in a desert. So first one is camel. Yes, camel we found in desert. Duck lives in water, so we do not found it in desert. This is a tree. Trees are very less in the desert, so it's no. Cactus plants are grown in desert, so yes, it is in desert. Okay. So this chapter is about the desert areas, the Western Desert. Okay, the land to the west of the Aravalli Hills in Rajasthan is rocky and sandy. So the land which is in the west of the Aravalli Hills, which is in India, they are full of rocky and sandy soil are there. This is the Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar Desert. So the Thar Desert is very great, very huge, very big, and it stretches from the Run of Kutch. The Run of Kutch is a place which is in Gujarat, through the borders of Rajasthan to the borders of the Haryana. So you understand, you can see in the picture also the location of the Thar Desert. It stretches from the Run of Kutch, a place in Gujarat, and from there to Rajasthan, through Rajasthan to the borders of the Haryana. So it has a great area covered. The land. How's the land of this desert? The Thar Desert is covered with a thick sheet of loose sand. This desert is covered with full of sand. Thick sheet मोटी परत जो है उसकी वो sand से पूरी ढकी हुई है. There are some hills of sand called sand dunes. So in this desert some hills are there. Hills थोड़े mountains भी हैं, ऐसे थोड़े बहुत, उनको क्या कहते हैं, sand dunes. And wind की वजह से जब हवा चलती है, wind also displaces the place of the sand, and जो sand होते हैं वो हवा में उड़ के कहीं, मतलब वो जो कहीं और जम जाते हैं. Okay. Sometimes strong winds which blow here carry a large amount of sand with them. They can shift the sand dunes. As I told you right now, because of wind, the large amount of sand get also blown away, and it shifts the place of the sand dunes. There are very few streams in the Thar Desert. They mostly remain dry. Luni is the most important river. So there are very less rivers, very less water in the desert. Desert area is mostly very hot, and these water is also present in very less amount, and the only Luni is a important river in Thar Desert. At some places oases are also found. The land around an oasis is fertile. People grow crops here. Thus most villages are situated around an oasis. So living in the desert, the Rajasthan area, mostly living there is a huge problem for people. So there are less water present, and the climate is very hot. And in some places in Rajasthan there are oasis. Oasis is a lush green area surrounding with a water source in a desert. What is an oasis? Surrounded by एक lush green area होती है, surrounded by what? Surrounding a water source. एक lush green area मतलब एक water source होता है वहाँ पर, उसके आसपास पूरी greenery रहती है, थोड़े बहुत पेड़ रहते हैं, उसके साइड की जो ज़मीन होती है that is also very fertile. That is fertile. People grow crops over there. Okay. And most of the people get situated near oasis. Now the climate in the Thar Desert. The Thar Desert remains hot and dry throughout the year. It remains hot and very dry. Winds blow there, and it remains hot throughout the year. There is very little or no rainfall. In summer, days are very hot and nights are cool. So in summer season, in this desert, the days are very hot, very hot, and the nights are cool. And in desert, there are little rainfall or no rainfall. बारिश होती है, नहीं तो बहुत नहीं भी होती है. In winters, days are warm and nights are very cold. So in summer season, आपने पढ़ा that the days are very hot and the nights are cool. But in the winter season, the days are little warm and the nights are very cold. Now, natural vegetation. A hot and dry climate means that mostly scattered with bushes and thorny shrubs grow here. So, talking about the natural vegetation in the desert, so the plants and the vegetation are very less because plants need sunlight, water, everything in a proper amount. So there are some kinds of plants which can grow in the hot and humid climate and can consume less water. There are these are known as the bushes and the cactus plants. Thorny means which has thorns, कांटे जिसके होते हैं. The khejri, kikar and babul trees grown in the eastern part of the desert. Okay, so this desert area is also divided, and in this eastern part of the desert, some kind of these khejri, kikar and babul trees are found. Animals such as camels, black bucks, chinkaras and great Indian bustards are found in this region. So these are also the kind of animals which can exist, which can live in the hot and humid climate. Okay, in this conditions, the camel is the most useful animal over there. So camel is the most useful animal in the desert because it carry loads for us, it carry goods from one place to another, it also carries us. Okay, now water supply. There is always very little water in the desert area. Village women walk long distances to fetch water. The state government is trying to provide water for domestic use and irrigation. So this desert area does not have, they have very less water, and the ladies, the women of this villages walk through a long distance to fetch water for irrigation and for their household domestic works. So state government is providing, the government of that state is providing some facilities for the people to help provide water for irrigation and to help them in domestic works. Water from river Satluj has been brought to the desert through the Indira Gandhi Canal. So Satluj is a river, and from there the water of the Satluj river has been brought through Indira Gandhi Canal to the deserts. Farmers can thus grow wheat, mustard and cotton. So the next topic is occupation, like what people do work in the desert areas. So people mostly rear sheep, goat, camel and cattle. So they mostly do the rearing work. Okay, some of them are farmers. They so as we know, this desert area does not have industries and so on. So the occupation is to rear the animals and to do the farming work. They grow bajra, jowar, maize, and this desert area has also different types of plantation. Like they can grow only that plant which can survive onto that climate. Okay, some people also travel from one place to another in search of food for themselves and their animals. So the people who move from one place to another in search of their food and food for their animals, they are known as Banjaras. They has a name and they are known as Banjaras people. Life in the Thar Desert is thus very hard because it has a very hot climate. It has very less water and no rainfall, or very less rainfall is there. So living in the desert is very tough, hard. Now what kind of houses are there? Most houses have a flat roof and a few small windows. The walls there are thick, very thick, to keep the heat out so that the houses remain cool. So the houses in the desert area are very flat and has very less windows. Windows बहुत कम होते हैं, and the walls are very thick so that the heat of the sun could not come out and the house can remain cool. Some houses have underground tanks to store rainwater. Such tanks are called tankas. So these houses also have an underground pit, in that they collect the rainwater. They store the rainwater. Lifestyle. Women in villages wear ghagra, choli and odhni. So dress style, they have, the women over there have ghagra and choli and one odhni, you can see over here. Kurta and turban. Men wear dhoti, kurta and turban. Turban is a pagdi. They wear dhoti and kurta. This is the famous clothes they wear, famous in Rajasthan. People love to eat dal bati churma. So the famous food in Rajasthan is dal bati churma. They celebrate Gangor and Tej. Gangor and Tej are their famous festivals. Ghumar and Kalbelia are popular folk dances. Ghumar and Kalbelia ये पॉपुलर डांसेस हैं राजस्थान के डेजर्ट एरिया के. ओके. मेजर सिटीज. So Jaipur, Udaipur, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer and Bikaner are some big cities. So these are the big cities in the desert areas where mostly people live. Jaipur is called the Pink City. Jaipur is known as the Pink City, which is in Rajasthan. It is famous for blue pottery. A large number of tourists from all over the world visit Rajasthan every year. So Rajasthan is also a tourist visit place, and most of the tourists throughout the year visit Rajasthan. Okay, so you read about this western desert area. The people living in the desert face many problems, and apart from these, they have a different kind of house, farming work and everything. Okay, so this chapter is completed. The question answer work I'll provide you through WhatsApp. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.